Hello everybody, I am Snows, your host, and today we've got stories, we've got news, and we've got gaming. All of that on your boot sequence. It is done! Nvidia pulled the plug on the GPP. The thing is, they're kind of playing the victim card here. According to Nvidia, it had one simple goal: ensuring gamers know what they're buying and can make a clear choice. But instead of realizing that, the way they kind of went about it would only divide the current product lines and make it more confusing for customers. They say that the GPP didn't change that the AIBs would still own their brands. Sure, ASUS owns ASUS, but at that point it seemed that the name ROG was going to be exclusive to Nvidia, which is basically controlling a branding on the line of product. One thing I really don't like about the way Nvidia handled the whole thing was the silence. They say they don't want to battle the rumors, conjectures, and the mistruths, but the lack of response shows that Nvidia doesn't really care until they have to give up. And there was no mistruth. Nvidia wanted gaming brands aligned exclusively with GeForce. It says so in their mission statement. It's still uncertain what the brands that already started to change some of their branding will do. Will ASUS dissolve ARES and bring back ROG for both Nvidia and AMD, or will they stick to the new branding? What do you think? Did you like the ARES branding? Personally, I kind of like the branding, but that's not really the point, is it? Moving on, and related to Nvidia, it seems they hold a grudge against Hard OCP's Kyle Bennett, who broke the story of the GPP. On a Reddit thread, Kyle posted that Nvidia would cut him off if he published the GPP story, which is understandable. A company doesn't want bad PR, and that bridge is probably burned forever, as he puts it. But he is wondering if Nvidia would push AIBs to pull the advertising from his website. That would be pretty bad, but I think Nvidia is smarter than that. Forcing AIBs to pull advertising would just cause way more outrage. Anyways, let's move on to some slightly different news. GPU miners are going to start selling. The new ASIC miner for Equihash, the Antminer Z9 Mini, can perform as well as 15 1080 Ti's and only draws about 300 watts. Get ready to start seeing some GPUs on Craigslist, because that's what's going to happen. Personally, I bought a pre-mined GPU a few years ago, a 280X, and it's still running great. Well, it was still running great until I sold it. It was also super cheap. Would you buy a pre-mined GPU, or are you not into that kind of thing? I'm in the mindset that if something electronic hasn't died after that much use, then it probably won't die for another few years with my kind of use. Let me know down below, I'd love to know your take on that. Then we have Intel, who is going to start tapping more facilities to produce their Coffee Lake products. As we saw at the end of last year, stock on the 8th gen CPUs was kind of scarce, so they're doubling down by adding another facility. The issue with that kind of thing is that you could end up with another 4th gen Intel Core. Let me explain. The 4th gen Intel Core CPUs were manufactured with different plants, and it was noticed that some coming from a specific plant would overclock higher than the others. What we want to avoid is something similar to what happened with that or Noctua's slightly browner fans. It seems Intel has a program called Copy Exact, where it makes sure all of the procedures and technologies they use across the world are identical to ensure the most consistent product. Alright, let's move on to some gaming news. PUBG's War Mode was supposed to be available all weekend, but it seems like it was shut down early. The game-wide shutdown was triggered because a large number of players had trouble connecting to the servers. It was only supposed to last 1 hour and then everything would come back as normal, but when it came back, the game mode, War, was removed completely because it appeared that the mode was the source of the issues. We don't know when it will come back since it was a limited time event, but maybe next weekend to make up for this weekend. Moving on to Destiny 2, a new expansion is coming up and it will feature, I quote, "an incredibly engaging new mode, one that introduces a whole new style of play for first-person shooter gaming generally, and certainly for the shared world shooter space that Destiny created." Apparently the response to the game mode was positive, but the creators are going to keep us in the dark until at least E3. I mean, I would love to try the game mode, but after I was burned with the first Destiny and the whole expansions on expansions, I think I'm just gonna skip all of Destiny 2. I know it's already out and I've already skipped it, but I'm not going to buy it now that the expansions come out. And now for the fun fact about me. I once entered a T-Pain contest where you had to make the second verse of a song. Here's a sample. It's old.
Overstood. I'm question about it, so go tell
If you want to hear the full thing, link down below, and also link to all of today's stories down below. So that's pretty much it for the news today, guys. Have yourselves a great day, stay frosty, and you can click right here to see the latest video. You can click right here to subscribe to the channel. Yeah, it's that one. It says boot sequence, it's a circle. Click on that and you'll get right onto our subscription list. And this is free content. You should click on it. It's 100% free. All right, let's move on.